Hey guys, it's been a while since we used our cast iron skillet, as you can see. We moved, we put it under our sink because we hadn't used it in a while, and apparently something leaked on it. So we saw a video on YouTube that showed how to clean and re-season a cast iron skillet, so we're going to try it tonight. So this is what it looks like before. It's really gross, kind of embarrassing, but real life. So we got a steel wool. My parents dropped it off for us, actually, because we didn't have any. And we're gonna start the first step. Now that I got all the rust off, I'm going to dry it with a towel, and then I'm going to just dry it on the stove top to make sure it's totally dry before I apply the oil. Now that we've dried it, we're just putting it over the heat to make sure that it's totally dry before we put the oil on it. Okay, so they say that flax oil is the best oil if you have it, but we don't. So they say the next best is canola oil or vegetable oil. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pour a little bit on here. And then we're just gonna rub it all around. Now I'm going to wipe the excess off. Now that we've wiped off all the excess, we're going to put it in a 500-degree oven for about an hour so that all the oil can burn off.
Hey guys, we are doing a reverse sear steak. I was trying to think of something that had, what's that term? Alliteration?
Yeah.
Reverse sear steak episode. What we're gonna do here, we got a couple of awesome looking New Yorks, nice and thick. You can see. G. I'll take this away. We've got some awesome steaks here, and what we're going to do is dry them first, because I did rinse them off a little bit. And I don't know, I always rinse them off because they've been sitting in their juices for a while. I don't know, I've just always done it. I don't know if it's a normal thing. But I rinse them, then I dry them, and what we're going to do next here is get them seasoned up. And to do that, we need a lot of good coarse salt, which we got here. And it may seem crazy, like, oh my gosh, you're salting like crazy. But what we have learned is the salt actually is a way to keep the juices in. It penetrates into the meat and locks in all that awesome flavor and juice that you're looking for with a good steak. And we're gonna do this all the way around. I'm using coarse salt. I have no idea if you, whatever you want is probably fine. But yeah, we're gonna try this new technique. I don't think, have we ever done this?
Mm-mm.
It's a way of basically having your steak all at one even temperature, which basically means you are starting it in the oven instead of starting it on the grill and finishing it on the stove. And basically we are going to put it in the oven for a little while, get it cooked so it's cooked evenly inside, and then we are going to do a sear at the end, which is a reverse style from normal. In restaurants, you normally get a steak, it's probably done on the stove and then finished in a hot oven. I'm going to get all this good fat here too, nice and salty, because we all know that's where the flavor is. Okay. Next, we're going to hit it with some pepper. And it may seem crazy, like, whoa, that's a lot of salt, but it's actually all going to soak in and come off as we cook it, so don't worry about it. Salt is great. It's a good thing. Yeah, let me wash my hands really quick and then I'm going to come back and pepper these guys. So, we have our special guest here, Mama.
Hey.
And she's going to pepper them while I dab on them. Is that a thing anymore? I have no idea.
I think if you're like 10, it is.
I was once 10. I'm just doing it for those days that are gone. So, we're getting a nice crust, and basically that's what reverse searing is getting that nice crust all locked in.
Is that too much pepper?
No, it's not. We are just going to keep peppering. Pepper away. So after these are salted and peppered, keep going, honey. It may seem crazy. We are just going to let these sit and basically come to room temperature. So it's basically got a crust on here now. Go ahead and do that. And then, yeah, it sounds weird leaving your steak out to come to room temperature, but really, meat should be cooked, well, steaks anyway, should be cooked at room temperature. Just helps with like the evenness of the cooking as you're doing it. Because if you can imagine, the cold center is not cooking as quickly as the outside, and then you got like just funky stuff happening. Maybe a little more.
A little more?
Nah, it's all good. A little more.
Bam!
Yeah, get the
Fatty side.
fatty side. The Jonah side. Okay. I love it. Look at that. Man, these are going to be so good. As you can see, we've only got 2 steaks, which means Katie and I are eating tonight. The kids have to fend for themselves. So, while we're waiting for the steaks to get to room temperature and this, what is that, cast iron skillet to cook, it's in there for an hour, just like cooking. I don't know. We saw it on YouTube. It's forming a barrier.
Yeah, we're re-seasoning it because it was so rusty.
And sealing it. So I'm here making Katie a lemon drop. It's like 100 degrees still in Charlotte, and it's like the middle of October. I don't get it. But
It's 86, but it's like super humid. It feels like July.
yeah, it feels like terrible. So what I'm gonna do here, basically just get this juice on this martini glass. It's a little lemon juice there.
Normally I just drink Rolling Rock, but today, since we're having steaks and we're being all fancy, John decided to make me a fancy drink. 'Cause he's
With
a good
sugar
husband.
on the rim.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm fancy. Okay, so I really should have preloaded this with the vodka so you guys don't see the giant vodka bottle in the pantry. But who's judging here? So basically, we got our handy dandy juicer again, and I actually forgot to make a simple syrup for this, so we're gonna do that too, I guess.
We should really name that juicer. We use it so much, it's part of the family.
What should we name it? If you guys got any great ideas, leave them in the comments below. We're always looking for great ideas.
Or friends.
Or just comments. You know, we're still trying to figure this whole thing out. I'll even make you a lemon drop if you're our friend. Whoa! Did you see that?
Juicy J. Maybe it isn't as
Juicy
bad of a
J.
name as I thought.
Maybe he did love that name. Okay, so we got that lemon pretty much squeezed. Maybe one more good squeeze here. We can't forget to get that guy on there. Alright. That looks to be about right. It's like a half a martini glass to half a martini glass. Lemon juice and sugar / vodka. Let me get some ice. Alright, so we're shaking. I've been told to roll the alcohol so it doesn't bruise. Sounds like bollocks to me. But there we go. Ooh, oh yeah, this is going everywhere. Notice how I left a little bit for the bartender. Ooh, it's good. Enjoy. Oh, hey guys. We're gonna do some potatoes with our steak because when you eat steak, you should eat potatoes. Steak and potatoes, that's the thing. I got some water here. We're basically just putting, we got some Yukon Gold. Are these Yukon Gold?
I think so.
Oh, Randy!
Attack of the pumpkin! Poor Randy.
Alright, so we are taking this cast iron skillet out of here. It has done its seasoning thing.
It's been in there about an hour at 500 degrees.
Woo! That is hot. It's all sealed up,
Looks like new.
looking good. And we're gonna use it for finishing the steaks. Meanwhile, we got the potatoes over here doing their thing. We're actually gonna take them out very shortly. And we'll show you what we're gonna do with them. Alright. So, the potatoes are off the heat. You know what? Hang on. I wanted to lay a layer of spices and goodness underneath here. Okay. So, what we're basically doing is taking these potatoes and they're already pretty much cooked. And the reason I'm putting a bottom layer on here is because we're going to crush these potatoes down onto it. And then we're going to season the top as well. But I got to get a bottom layer so the bottoms are all seasoned up. So, how should we crush this? What do you think? Like a hammer?
Maybe a fork.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be difficult. Let's see if these are cooked enough to use a fork. Where's that fork?
What if you use one of these really big forks?
Like this one? A big fork. Oh.
That's fine.
Is it though? Ow, it's hot! I don't know if it's cooked enough. I mean, it's gonna finish cooking. We'll see. So basically, it's going to, oh my gosh! It's good! Lucy, you be careful. That is a hot potato.
It's always exciting here.
So, while we're waiting for this potato conundrum to be figured out, we're going to throw these bad boys in the oven to get started. As you can see, 275, so not like super hot, but it's going to be in there for like a half an hour. So they're going to be cooked pretty well. It's going to go in there. After they come out, they're going to look kind of not so great, ugly. And then we'll sear them off. Here we go. Okay, so we boiled these off a little longer. These may have been a little hard. They're going to soften up in the oven. Man, I don't know.
You want to flip them over and then do
Should
it?
I flip them over? We're going to flip them over. I think we could just do like this.
Yeah, now that you boiled them more.
And what is happening here is we're just like making it's a variation of mashed potatoes and roasted potatoes. They're called mashed roasted potatoes. Oh jeez.
We were going to do mashed potatoes because we haven't done them in a while. And then we thought, oh, roasted potatoes are so good. And then we didn't have the right potatoes for either. So this is what we got. And it's going to be delicious.
Darn you, Yukon potatoes. It's going to be good though. We've kind of been eating all that other stuff that's been hanging out.
Yeah, we just keep eating it off the side and it's delicious.
Oil. What do you think? That's good?
Yep.
Some of this, no salt seasoning. Of course we're going to add salt to it. Potatoes suck up a lot of flavor. So you got to be pretty, like, just let them have it with like salt and seasoning. It may seem like a lot. It's really not. Alright, we're going to throw this guy in the oven. Let it finish off. Oh, it's hot. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here I go. Alright, so on top of the steak, we're going to do a blue cheese and caramelized onion sauce. It's going to be delicious. So when we sear off the steaks, we're going to actually pull them and then throw on all these onions. And it's going to be a hot skillet. So what we're going to do now is basically come over here to the skillet. Let me get the canola. The cast iron skillet going here. And add a little oil to it. I'm going to let it do its thing. It's got to get nice and hot so we can get a nice solid sear on it. The steaks are actually being pulled out now. They look pretty good. Nice and brown. Which I told you they were going to be looking pretty, but they look good. So, this is like the first time I've done this. A reverse sear. Normally I do my steaks on a pan with butter and all that, and then I finish it off in the oven. First time for everything though, it's going to be fun. Okay, so let's pull these out. And you can see again, nice and brown. don't look appetizing at all. And actually, I think I'm gonna check the temperature on these guys. And we're looking between like 105, 110 maybe. And it's going right up to that spot, so that's good. If you guys want to look, it's at about 110. A little just under. So, I'm going to pull this guy out. And I still think we need a little more time getting this guy heated up. I'm going to sear them off, and they're going to be delicious. Alright, so I'd say we got the skillet nice and hot. I can kind of smell the oil going on there. And that's what we're looking for right there. There's a nice sear. And we're going to leave these at about, I don't know, maybe a minute, minute and a half. And it's going to get a nice, great crust on it. You can see all the juices starting to come out the top here. We are going to turn these in about a minute and a half. Oh, look at that. What you're looking for is that nice crust. Nice and hard. So after these go for about another minute, minute and a half, we're going to basically just put them off to the side, cover them with some foil, and let them sit for about 10, 15 minutes while we make the sauce. Delicious. So we're taking these off now, and you can see like we've just got a beautiful sear on them. Check that out. We're going to cover these with foil and just let them sit for about 10 minutes while we do the sauce, and we let the potatoes finish. Go to sleep for a little bit. Meanwhile, I got some onions that we're putting in here, as well as some butter. And the reason we did it in the cast iron was because it's got all that awesome juice and seasoning and everything nice in there already. I'm going to add a little Worcestershire. Alright. So that's going to lift off all the good seasoning that was on the steak. Basically letting it boil away on this thing here. It's going to caramelize the onions. Delicious. You can see the butter starting to caramelize here. And basically we're just making a blue cheese onion butter sauce that's going to go right on top of these steaks. Let's see how these potatoes are doing. So we moved them up. We put it on broil so that they can start browning on top. Give them a little sear. Get this butter in here. I'm going to add the milk. I'm going to have a cup of milk here. And we're going to let that all come together.
This is a variation of a Pioneer Woman recipe for blue cheese sauce for steak.
Should I add the cheese now?
Add some salt and pepper, I'd say.
Oh, salt and pepper, for sure. So pepper's going in. So this pepper shaker was passed down for generations within Katie's family. And we have gotten it here live for you guys. And this also too was passed down for generations. It's called a salt pig. I don't know if it likes being called a pig, but that's its name. Alright. Salt and pepper is in. It's starting to reduce. Looks so good. I think we'll let it reduce a little longer and then add that blue cheese in. It'll thicken it right on up. The sauce has been thickening, and we are going to add the blue cheese now. And the blue cheese is going to give it even more of a thicker kind of... What do you think?
Put it in.
So this is blue cheese and onion sauce that we're going to put on top of the steaks. You know, when we buy steaks, we go all out. And that's what we're doing right here. We're going all out. Steak is not normally something we buy at the store, but today we did it for you guys. You know, when we go shopping, we think about you. We're like, what should we do today? It's becoming a stretch. It's kind of hard. So we're like, well, we gotta put our minds to it and think, what would they want? The other day, my buddy Glenn said, oh, I want chili. Dude, it is not cold enough for chili yet. So we're doing steaks, but we should be grilling, you know, whatever. It's all good. Okay. So that's going to go a little longer and thicken up a little more. And I think we're ready for dinner. So we cooked a steak. It took like forever. We cooked potatoes. They took forever. We're making a salad. We're going to do it really quick. And voila. A little magic goes so far. So, we're about to take these potatoes out. Let me show you guys what they look like here. Check that out. They are piping hot. Basically what we're going to do is grab a spatula. And we got the kids, you know, the kids aren't eating the steak because that's the good stuff. But, we're just going to take a little bit of those potatoes, throw them on here. Look at that. Delicious. Pictures up on the Lucky Plate?
Ooh, yes.
The Lucky Plate is the one that looks all messed up. It's lucky. Oh, look at these steaks. Do you want the big one or the small one?
The small one.
Oh, you know what? We're going to put these on top of the potatoes. Does that work?
Ooh, sure. Are you gonna slice them before, like the YouTube guy?
Oh man, do you want me to do that? I can.
No, you don't. You can do whatever you want, honey.
I would have sliced them ahead of time. Plus these are different steaks. But that's okay.
Yeah, no, just plate them.
Here, let's see. So it's like medium. May have left it in the oven a little too long. But it's not raw. It's actually really good looking.
Medium is my preference, so thank you.
There we go. A little pink inside.
When in the sauce.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the sauce. How did I forget the sauce? So we made this sauce here. It's red onions, with butter and blue cheese dress, or blue cheese. Check that out. There you are. Boom. And we got salad to kind of balance out things. So, with steak, you always need wine. Always. So we got ourselves a nice cab here. We're going to be enjoying with this steak out of our fancy glasses that have polka dots on them. This was recommended to me from a guy named JB at the local Trader Joe's. We'll see what his thoughts are. He better be right.
So now we need to clean the cast iron because we got all that rust off and we don't want it to get yucky again. So they say to put like coarse salt. So we're putting salt, like some coarse kosher salt. We're scrubbing it all over, getting all the gunk off from the cooking. Re-oiling it while it's nice and hot.
We got all the water out. Now we gotta re-season it and bring it back up to a...
Okay, I oiled it. Now
hot.
I'm gonna wipe any excess off. It's very hot.
Is it hot?
Yeah.
Now we let it come up so that all that oil doesn't go rancid. We gotta basically reseal it. Bye!